In this video, I'd like to cover with you a really powerful tool. It's called a business model canvas, a business model canvas. So the one you're seeing here is a little modified. It's my own secret sauce here. I've added some boxes, but this is the perfect template that you can use, and you can draw it on a piece of paper whenever you come up with an idea and fill in each boxes, and it's going to really give you a good idea of your business model. It's going to model your idea so you get an idea of how you're going to operate it and how you're going to make money, revenue, how much it's going to cost, what's the value proposition, and so on. So let's take a look at all boxes, and we're going to go from left to right. And so the first one is strategic partners. So strategic partners in this box going to list who do you think your strategic partners are going to be. Who do you need to be successful in your venture? Then the next box next to it is activities. What is your company's activities going to be? As an example, if you're a software development company, in there you would put software development, right? Then in the value proposition, in there you're going to describe what is the value you're going to offer to your customers. So this is really your first marketing slogan or pitch, where you clearly describe what is the value for your targeted customers. The next box is customer relationship. It's going to be how are you going to maintain your relationship with your customer. So is it going to be through a website? Is it going to be through a CRM or customer relationship management tool, a newsletter, events, conferences, how are you, videos, how are you going to keep, maintain the relationship and build the relationship and the trust with your customers. Then you have to the right, you have your customers. So that's where you describe and categorize your customers you're targeting. So the location, the age, the ethnicity, the economic class, the situation, primary or secondary customers. So what is a primary or secondary customer? So let's say you sell bikes, right? So you want to build a new bike. Well, your first your secondary customer is going to be people that buy bikes, but your primary customer is probably going to be the shops that sells the bikes to the customers. So you need to really be clear on this, because it's going to change everything about your business model and your marketing. So if you don't think about your primary customer and you just think about your secondary customer, maybe you're not going to design the business model and the pricing to satisfy and attract your primary customers that are actually the ones that are going to get you your secondary customers. I know that gets a little technical, but feel free to ask questions if needed. So now let's go back to the left. So the box technology. So in technology in there, and that's one I've added on the traditional business model canvas. That is not on the traditional one. I've added it because I believe that in the era of the tech revolution, we have to have a box like this in a business model. So what is the technology you're going to use? Are you going to use some APIs? Are you going to license anything? Are you going to have certain partnerships to use certain softwares? And what's the codes you're going to use, etc. And then you have resources and resources. So here basically you're going to describe your main key advantage, right? Your resources is your key main advantages, your unfair advantages, if you will. So here in this box you're going to describe what makes you special. Could be you have a secret sauce, could be you have an amazing team that's been there, done that. Could be that you have a patent. Could be that your technology is unique and protected. Could be that you have a major investment backup and no one else has it so far. So etc. Here you list your resources. Then your competition, and that's also not on the traditional business model canvas. I've added this because in a world of more aggressive competition, I think it's key to talk about it right away, even when you talk about your business model. So competition, here you're going to put your established and your newcomers. So established is who's been there for a long time, big corporations, and you list your top 5 well-established, competitors. Then just next to it, the newcomers. List, the new entrants, if you will, startups like you that are also entering that market. Then there's 2 boxes to the right of this, growth drivers. and sales channels. So let's start with the growth driver. So growth driver, that's going to be the question, in a world where there's many entrepreneurs all launching their ideas at the same time, overwhelming the potential customer crowds, how are you going to stick out? What's going to be your strategy, your key elements of your marketing strategy that's going to make it come in front of customers more than any other entrepreneur? So your growth driver, how are you going to grow fast? That's very key, and also added, it's not on the original business model canvas, I've added it because I do think it's really critical. Underneath, sales channels. So sales channels here is how you're going to distribute your product, how are you going to deliver the value to your customers. So are you going to use a sales team? Are you going to do it e-commerce, via e-commerce, or e-commerce website? Are you going to use distributors, and so on? And then at the bottom of it, the bottom line, if you will, you're going to put your cost structure and your revenue streams. So the cost structure, you don't break it down in detail, put high level, it's going to cost so much for the development and the maintenance of the software. It's going to cost so much for the purchase of raw material or whatever it is. It's going to cost so much for headcount or, people. And then on the right, you put, the revenue streams, what's going to be your primary revenue streams. It's going to be the sale of your product. Maybe you have some services there. Maybe you have several product lines that you want to launch, etc. So that's the, how to use a business model canvas. And I just want to say, because I know it's a little technical and I hope I'm not losing you on this one, but on the book there that you can get, you have it, download the ebook for free, or get this one on Amazon. It's like a good handbook to have in your pocket, and in there it's going to explain everything we just covered. Good picture quality, you can read it well. It's a really cool book. Spend a bit of time putting it together for you, so don't hesitate.